If you're just starting out in games, it's pretty common to advise that you should start small, make tiny games, and learn from them. And while I don't disagree with the sentiment, here's the thing. I didn't do that. I jumped headfirst into a big project. I made an ambitious city builder with way too many systems, but honestly, that decision is one of the big reasons I ended up getting hired in the industry. It's why GameDev Guide is able to exist and why I'm in the position that I am as a developer today. So in this video, I want to give you my take on this whole make small games first advice and why I think if you're a certain kind of person, it's not always the best path to take. Many beginner courses or advice focus on making small games, learning the ropes by starting with something simple, making a clone of Pong or Flappy Bird or Tetris, for instance. You then finish it and move on to something bigger. And look, I totally get where this comes from. Small projects teach you scope, finishing skills, and allow you to iterate. That works for a lot of people, and so it's popular advice. Heck, I'd probably give that advice if you're looking to get started too. But for a small subset of folks, that's not how they're going to learn. Getting stuck into something huge and slowly building on it will be a far, far more valuable experience and probably give them a greater chance of getting hired because of all the tangential things that come along with making a full, fat video game. And while small games can find an audience, making something bigger gives you a much higher chance of financial return at the end if that's also something you're concerned with. While making small games can teach you a little bit of everything, a bigger project forces you to develop and understand the components that go into something at scale. You'll often be building initial systems, need to extend them for new features, then need to refactor them later, and finally you'll probably need to optimize them as well. Whether you intend to or not, you essentially learn how to manage big scenes, big code bases, version control, and if you're successful at it, you figure out how to triage and manage scope and what parts of your game are good enough. Essentially, it becomes a crash course for a lot of the stuff that's closer to what an actual studio workflow feels like. And honestly, that's one of the founding pillars of the Game Dev Guide channel. Most of my videos are aimed at exactly those kind of problems, solutions you only really need when you're working on bigger, more complex projects. If you're only ever working on small, tightly coupled games, you can get away with rougher code, shortcuts, and quick hacks. You never really have to face some of these deeper issues. That's not always true, obviously, I understand that, but once you step into a bigger project, those challenges show up fast, and that's the stuff I love helping people with. Now look, I'm not saying never make small games. If that's what excites you, do it, especially if you're the sort of person that needs quick wins to keep motivated, or you get frustrated by the challenges of not knowing enough yet. That's absolutely fine. Honestly, my very first project was awful. I absolutely threw myself in at the deep end and I paid for it. It's a total mess. Something I'll probably unpack more on this channel in the future, but working through it taught me a huge amount. A lot of the skills I picked up back then still carry through my work today. I'm a much better designer now and I've learned from those early mistakes, but I genuinely don't think I'd be where I am now without going through that experience. Because I threw myself into something bigger, I ended up picking skills that honestly made me so much more hireable later on. Working on a game at that scale forced me to think about systems and pipelines way beyond just does it work right now? Over time, I started to get a feel for what a multi-year project actually needs, which features are worth prioritizing when, and which ones can wait. That experience taught me how to make better decisions, how to plan ahead, and how to communicate those choices to other people on a team. And that's exactly the kind of thing that hiring managers are looking for. When you've worked on something bigger, you're not just proving you can write code or make art, you're showing that you understand pipelines, teamwork, and the realities of production. That's gold for a studio. Looking back, that's been a huge part of why I've been able to build the career I have now. When it came to apply for roles, I had real things to show, systems I'd built from scratch and tools I'd put together to speed up my own production process. That kind of self-directed work turned out to be incredibly in demand, and it's something I look for myself when I've been on the hiring side, so it's something to think about. I appreciate that not everyone can do this. Nuance is sometimes lost here on YouTube, but I just wanted to raise my hand and say, don't feel like you have to stay small because the internet told you to. If you've got a bigger idea that you're passionate about, even if it's messy, making it can teach you just as much, if not more. Just maybe don't go trying to make an MMORPG as your first game, okay? So yeah, that's my somewhat unpopular opinion on the matter. And so I'm curious, what do you guys think? Did you get started with small projects or did you dive straight into something big like me? I'd love to hear your story in the comments, so let me know down below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time.